Chete, Nasser and I are joined by Moeen Ali, who's just popped in. Many, many congratulations. How would you sum up the day as a whole for the side?
I think in the end we were very pleased. Obviously they were 140 for 2 at one stage, going well, and to bowl them out with 20-odd runs ahead is a fantastic day in the end.
What a return to Test match cricket for you as well.
Yeah, it's been good. Nice to bowl on that wicket from that end. You have memories from last time you bowled here, and that kind of helps as well sometimes. And just from the first over I bowled today, I felt quite good, and then I was a bit disappointed. Richie took me off earlier, and then he brought me back on, and it was nice to bowl.
It took you off when you had 5 wickets. Did you want to keep going at that stage? Because he brought Stewart on at the far end.
Yeah, I wanted to keep going, obviously, especially when Bumrah was on strike, and I felt only bowled a couple of balls, but I think you wanted a bit of pace against Bumrah and see what happens, but these things happen.
It's been an incredible pitch, hasn't it? From one that was so seam and swing friendly yesterday to one that was a bit spin friendly today. Have you ever known a pitch changes that quickly?
I didn't. Like yesterday facing Ashwin, we didn't feel like it was going to spin. I thought this not going to spin much, but then there was a lot of footholds from Ishant, and I felt if Ashwin had bowled from the other end, when he did towards the end of the night, he spun a couple, and I thought it's not a bad thing going in. But I didn't think it spinned that much, to be honest, day 2.
Nice to have something to aim at, though, with those footholds out there. Was it a case of just trying to jam it in there as quickly as you could, or was it vary the pace and flight to still get it in there?
I think at first, when I first started, I just bowled, tried to land them, really, and then after that, I kind of found I was a little bit put it there kind of thing, and then when I came back in my third spell, I spoke to Paul Farbres, and we decided to bowl that attacking line as quick as we could.
Well, let's just have a look at this and see if we can. That might not be. Yeah. So, landing it in that foothold there, 28%, 72 else. Are you happy with those sort of numbers, or do you have to vary? Can you not just keep going in because they know?
Ideally, you want to keep going, obviously, but I think it brings in the outside edge a lot of the time as well. You don't want everything spinning the one way. There's a couple of balls at Virat which went on the outside, and I think in England, especially, it's something I've done over the last few years. I've got a lot of outside edges. I think the way the ball comes out, it doesn't come out almost like the perfect sort of seam. It's a little bit of a side spin, and that helps go on. And
are you always messing around with that?
It's something I'm trying to get better at. But with speaking to Sacklane, and he thinks it's a skill of mine and it's not a negative thing, and he thinks it's a positive thing, and you just keep going.
When you're trying to hit an area like that, batsmen can counteract it by coming down the pitch, and Pujara is one of the best at doing that. What sort of tell do you have that he's coming down? Because I looked at this one, and if we just pause it at the top, now you've let the ball go, and he hasn't moved. And then if I roll it on, so you can't get the ball back, he's come down. Yeah. So there's no tell. Is there any clue that you get that he's coming?
I've always found him one of the hardest. He's probably one of the few guys who actually come down if the ball goes above the eye line, or he's always looking to come at you to get there, and then he goes right back if it's slightly short. He's actually very difficult to bowl at, I find, purely because he goes back quite deep and then he comes at you as well, and he's very good at keeping the ball down, placing the ball and things like that.
When the ball is spinning back in as sharply as it was, I just want to show you a feel. A lot of the time you've had a slip and a short leg and sometimes a leg slip. The lost fielding position, that is silly point. Why do you not use that as much? Isn't that making him sort of drag his leg back a little bit? It seems to have gone out of the game for the off spinner.
I actually enjoy having the silly point. I had it quite a bit last year. I find just to, if anything, to get the batsman to go on the back foot more than the front foot. I don't mind having a silly point. It allows me then to keep bowling out there a little bit more, and also just to put something in the batter's head.
Yeah.
You can have the guy there with the leg slip, and you can always get a little bit straighter as well.
He's going to do the analysis. What about you psychologically? Is it difficult being Moeen Ali? Because from what I've seen of your career, it is just full of ups and downs, some great performances, some difficult days. You very rarely have an average day, do you?
It is difficult, but, you know, when you have a good day, it actually feels really good. You feel like you've contributed as an all-rounder, and obviously when you have a bad day, I know deep down that I'm not the perfect spinner or a top spinner, but I know I can, given my day, I can bowl a side out, and I've done that throughout county cricket. But then the next game I could bowl terrible, and it is difficult sometimes. But the same with my batting. I feel sometimes I'll be batting well, and then all of a sudden there's a shot. But I actually enjoy playing like that. It's not something that it's the way I play kind of thing. I am trying to get better. It's taking a bit of time.
It makes him very watchable.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned, you know, you can go up and down. The next innings you'll be bowling at might be spinning. All eyes might be on you and Adil to bowl the side to victory. Is that something you have to embrace?
Definitely. It is something I have embraced and something I do actually back myself with. If there's good spin in there, you can almost shut one side up and you can have an in and out field, and Sacklin's been amazing for that for me. It's the pressure's on naturally, but you've got to embrace that pressure and actually look forward to it. Like I'm actually looking forward to bowling again now, knowing that there's good spin out there, and already obviously got wickets under my belt.
Can I just take you back to your batting? How challenging were the conditions when you first went out? What were you thinking? What were you talking to young Sam about? Because that partnership of 80 was absolutely crucial.
Initially, when I first walked in, I felt it was quite quick. Everything was quick. The bowlers, obviously, you don't play...
Speed of Test cricket as opposed to county cricket?
And the quality, obviously, I've hardly bowled a high volley. I think I got one early on, and then everything was just good. And all bowl different sort of strengths. They have Ishan, who's taller, who can obviously goes away, and then the other guys get a bit more zip, and Shami's giddy, and so it's different challenges. But I actually really enjoyed batting yesterday. And when Sam came in, he actually gave me quite a bit of confidence the way he played. I've never batted with him, obviously. He came in and played a few shots, and then when he felt like they were bowling really well, he reined it in, and it was great.
Lead's only, well, so you're trailing by 21. What is a lead that is workable to win this Test match?
500? I don't know. I think, you try and get close to 300 as much as you can. I think it'd be a good lead. It'd be difficult, but it'd be good.
Thanks for your time. Extremely well bowled and batted.
Thank you.
Mo, we're just going to let you exit stage left because we're going to bring in Harbhajan, because I know Harbhajan, you're extremely impressed with the way he bowled. What impressed you with the way Moeen Ali went about it today?
I think the pace what he bowls with, that's actually brilliant, and he used those footmarks at the best. You have to use those footmarks when it's there, and you have to bowl with the right sort of pace, which is slightly quicker in the air, and that's what he does better than Ashwin. Ashwin, he doesn't use footmark as well as he does because his trajectory is not like a normal off-spinner. He's more of a faster kind of an off-spinner, which will suit more to this wicket.
Well, these were his paces in this innings. So slowest, he slowed it down to 48. His average was over 52, and he did fire in at 57. What do you think was the right pace that he got for this pitch?
Well, I think on a wicket like this, where it's happening quite a few things, if you land on the footmark, you have to bowl a little faster. So you don't want batsmen to come out of the crease and play. And of course, you don't want the batsman to go back and play you from the back foot. All you want is batsmen to keep coming forward, and you look for that glove and inside edge. So I think about 52, 53, a little faster than that would be much easier to play. But average speed 52, that's I think the perfect speed to bowl at this.
Let's swap sides. We're not going to be able to hear from Pujara tonight, unfortunately. We might be able to get a word with him tomorrow. How impressive an innings was this?
In the context of the game, the day, the series, and where international cricket is at the moment. Remember what we talked about this morning on the pitch. Why are runs going down? Why aren't batsmen getting the scores? Why are conditions so difficult? Well, here is a lad that guts it out, played in a good old-fashioned, determined way, over my dead body. He is proof that still in this great game of ours there's someone willing to work hard for their runs and realise that things will get easier, and you can play in a different way. He played quite defensively at the start, but the moment they got down with a tail, a little bit like Sam Curran yesterday, he went into one-day mode. I'm really pleased. He's a lovely lad, but also, more importantly, in international cricket, where all batsmen think there's just one way of getting a score, it's intent, I've got to get some. He shows us another way.
Changed his method as well.
Yeah, a little bit. He's copied Kohli a little bit. Earlier on in the series at Lords, having been left out remarkably at Edgbaston, he was back in his crease. His interception points are way back. He misses that one. Now look at him here. He's standing out of his crease. He's not going at the ball, but he is definitely getting further forward and intercepting the ball before it moves. So it shows someone who's been around a long time, someone who's been playing county cricket, average 14 for Yorkshire, is still willing to learn and change his game.
Seems a very popular man in the dressing room. Is he?
Yes, he is. He's someone, who's, as Nasir said, senior guy in the dressing room, but at the same time, a very jolly guy, very nice guy. Everyone wants him to do well because he's a nice guy.
I will say something on the back of that, is that I think it also makes him a bit, we'll leave Pudgy out. You know, I don't think he should have been left out at Edgbaston because he's such a lovely, old-fashioned guy. This modern sort of India youth, Pandya, up and at 'em sort of way. I don't think if India go on to lose this series, and it's an if at the moment, that error they made at Edgbaston that first morning to leave one of their old-fashioned number threes in these conditions in this country out was a mistake.
India have a slender lead, and obviously they want to knock England over as quickly as possible. Starts tomorrow. We've seen the ball swing, we've seen the ball seam, and it's gone up and down. But there is stuff now happening for Ashwin. Who do you think Kohli will feel is the key bowlers for him tomorrow?
I think key bowlers would be Jasprit Bumrah and Ashwin. You know, Jasprit on any ball, on any wicket, he's going to be a bowler to go to. And Ashwin, a lot of things is happening on this wicket. If he pitch at right spot, you know, he's going to be the key man. So I think Kohli need to stick with these two guys, attack with these two guys, and tell Ishan and Shami to hold one end.
Who do you think is the big danger for England's batsmen tomorrow? Do you agree with Baji there?
I think it is now going more towards a spin-friendly pitch, definitely.